And we're back. I'm Jack, your British guy, and we got the 10 mysterious places in the United States, in brackets, scary. I don't know if it's going to be scary, but what is scary is that we're nearly at 4.1k subscribers. So please make sure, if you have not yet, go down below right now and hit subscribe and help me reach our target. It would mean a lot. Let's go.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to The World According to Briggs, your virtual tour guide. Today we're taking a trip to some of the most mysterious places in the United States. There's a lot of different types of mysterious places. Some are natural, others are man-made, maybe haunted, aliens, some have secrets, while others just can't be explained. For whatever reason, mysteries and mysterious places always grab our attention. The unknown is very interesting to most people. Today's video is about some of the most mysterious locations in the United States. We have some great ones, and I gotta tell you, as I researched this video, I kept finding more and more locations with really cool things to talk about. Some are only known locally, and in those cases it's hard to find a lot of details and things like pictures and video. But really, it's sort of true with some of the ones on this list when it comes to video. So we might be...
I'll tell you where, I'm not going to disclose where I live in the UK, but where I live, hundreds of ghost stories and all sorts. Like, it's quite a big area. And I don't know, that it always intrigues me. So I'm glad we're doing this type of stuff with America.
A lot of pictures and aerial shots of the area, not the specific location. We'll do what we can. Okay, let's get rolling. We'll see what made the list. Number 10, Ringing Rock Park, Pennsylvania. Just across the Delaware River from Milford, New Jersey in Pennsylvania, you'll find the Ringing Rock Park. This is a 128-acre park in Bucks County, Pennsylvania that has a large field of mysterious boulders that, when struck, sound like bells, as if they're hollow or made of metal. They don't sound like rocks at all. Okay. Only about a third of the rocks ring, and they call those the live rocks. And those that don't are known as dead rocks. At least they thought they were dead. In 1965, a group of scientists crushed, broke, sanded, sliced, and had lunch on the rocks. After performing numerous tests and a series of lunch dates that resulted in one hookup, they found out that all the rocks actually do ring. The dead ones ring at tones lower than the human ear can actually pick up. Any dog from the area would have said, "I told you so," if they were able to talk. Scientists have determined that the stones are made of a volcanic substance called diabase. I think I pronounced that right. But there's no explanation for the 8-acre field being situated on a hillside, not at the bottom of a hill or a valley where you would normally find a rock field or something like this. Each summer, hundreds of visitors flock here with hammers in hand to perform their own rock concert. Yes! Comedy gold! Number 9, Energy Vortexes, Sedona, Arizona. When most people hear the name Sedona, they think of Sedona, Arizona, and its amazing red stone rock formations. I think of a Fordham student named Sedona in the 6th grade that whipped me with a jump rope. Not saying I was into it, but I do miss her. Anyway, Sedona is also known as a spiritual hotspot, not just for the Native Americans from the area. Hippies and your average Joe that read one too many books on personal growth find their way here to admire the landscape and get a quick energy boost. The energy vortexes people claim can boost healing, give mystical enlightenment, and a general feeling of well-being.
I've got to be honest, that's a bad pause. That is beautiful. Like, that is... Wow. Wow.
As people claim can boost healing, give mystical enlightenment, and a general feeling of well-being. Now this is due to a strong energy produced by these vortexes. Even the trees here twist in a very unusual way. A lot of people claim it's the energy vortexes. This is also a hot spot for the yoga types to have retreats. People point out those twisted trees and they start having little yoga sessions around them to kind of, I don't know, they want to twist themselves like the tree or whatever, but they're trying to gather the energy from these vortexes.
And what I mean is, like, it's all broken in weird ways. Right.
The four main vortexes in Sedona are the Airport Mesa Vortex, Boynton, I believe it's called Canyon Vortex, Bell Rock Vortex, Cathedral Rock Vortex. The origin and the nature of these vortexes still remain a mystery. Number 8, Coral Castle, Homestead, Florida. In Homestead, Florida stands a remarkable structure that was created because of a broken heart. Latvian immigrant Edward Leedskulkin built the Coral Castle in Homestead, Florida after his fiancée left him on the eve of their wedding. The mysterious thing about the castle isn't why Edward built it, it's how Edward built it. Edward was a small man. He was 5 foot tall and maybe weighed 100 pounds. And he didn't use anything other than homemade tools. There was no electrical devices. He didn't get any help. He did it by himself with homemade tools. Did a broken heart give this little man the strength and drive to build the castle? He built it by himself using 1,000 tons of boulders, some of the boulders weighing as much as 30 tons alone. It's documented that no one ever witnessed Edward working on the castle. Some have said that he used supernatural power. Leedskulkin would only say that he knew the secrets used to build the ancient pyramids. He said that he learned the secrets of making objects weightless. Researchers and historians say whatever he was doing had something to do with this little black box seen in photos that he had mounted on a tripod crane he had built out of logs. Nobody knows what's in the box or why it's affixed to these tripods, but most feel it holds the answers how he created this place. Leedskulkin died in 1950, and we'll never know. Nobody knows anything about the black box, where it went, what was in it. That's the biggest mystery of this whole thing. It still stands to this day. Number 7.
That's mental. Like, I like ancient Egypt, for example, is like, I don't know much, but that's like the thing that I can just spend hours scrolling through, and like how they build the pyramids and all that. To me is like, eventually we're gonna go on to things that aren't just American, but like
The Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, Weston, West Virginia. In 1864, the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum started accepting patients. If you've ever visited West Virginia, you can imagine there was a line out the door for people looking to get in. At first, everything was fine and dandy. People were getting the help they needed. At least, help for the time. I mean, lobotomies and electric shock have long, been deemed unnecessary, but hey, it was cutting edge back then. As the years went on, it started getting more and more patients that far exceeded what it was originally designed for. By the 1950s, the facility that was designed to hold 250 patients had 2,400 patients. That is about the time it really hit the fan. The asylum became something out of a horror movie. No heat in the winters, sweltering summers, people sleeping on the floors and in storage rooms, unexplained disappearances, caging, and severe mistreatment of some of the patients. At some point, attacks on the staff became the norm, and patients started making fires in an attempt to burn the place down. And get this, in true West Virginia fashion, it wasn't shut down until 1994. Yeah, so we're talking from 1950 to 1994. This thing was a total nightmare, and they kept it open. But it's believed that it's still inhabited by the souls of the patients. If you want to check it out yourself, take a ghost tour of the facilities. Yeah, they have those. Number 6, Skinwalker Ranch, Utah. The name Skinwalker Ranch can warn you of two different things: supernatural hoodoo voodoo weirdness, or a
imagine that is your view from your garden.
Nudist colony filled with retirees. If you're like me, you're probably struggling with deciding which one is scarier. Luckily for us, this is the supernatural type, and we can press on. Supernatural and mysterious activities have been reported at the Skinwalker Ranch in Utah for many years. Visitors to the 480-acre compound have reported seeing shape-shifting creatures and hearing loud underground noises, along with the occasional floating orb of death. Now, I added the death part for dramatic effect, just so you know. According to Native American lore, the site is full of evil spirits and dark spiritual energy. The ranch has been nicknamed the UFO Ranch because of its 50-year history of odd events that are said to have had taken place there. But that 50-year thing is what's documented. There are many stories and legends about early settlers and the Ute people from the nearby reservation experiencing strange events in the area. All in all, the Skinwalker Ranch is creepy as hell.
I'd go there.
Number 5, the White Eagle Saloon, Portland.
Well, we're at number 5. It's the mid-vid subsection. Like I said at the beginning, we are so close to 4.1k subscribers. So if you go down right now and hit that subscribe button, help me reach that goal. And hey, hopefully we're already past it by the time this video's up, and you can help me reach the next goal, 4.2 subscribers. Thank you very much.
Oregon. Here in Portland, Oregon, we have the White Eagle Saloon and its checkered past. Originally a hub for Portland's Polish immigrants, the White Eagle Saloon wore many hats over the years. Saloon, meeting hall, hotel, a place of worship, brothel, and now it's a great bar with great live music. The name White Eagle is in reference to the old Polish flag, which had a white eagle on it. This place has some serious stories. A prostitute killed by a jealous lover, people dragged through basement tunnels, a waitress carried down basement steps by an invisible force. These are the stories and legends that pop up whenever the White Eagle is mentioned. The details normally become more graphic and gruesome as the years go on. There's more than just good storytelling going on here. Ghost hunters who have investigated the place report a sensation of violence and death in the basement and a deep well of sadness on the second floor. The White Eagle first popped up in the waterfront of Portland in 1905. At the time, the area was crowded with hundreds of recent arrivals from Great Britain, Scandinavia, the Balkans, Russia, the Mediterranean, and the Far East. They worked on the docks, in the Union Pacific Railroad shops, and in the neighboring factories and mills built along the Willamette's east bank. When the workday ended, people filled Russell Street and it became alive as people walked down it and then disappeared into dozens of bars lining the street. There was a trolley line that ran up Mississippi Avenue and stopped at Russell Street near the White Eagle. Upon the approach to Russell Street, the conductor would always yell, "Next stop, Bucket of Blood," a nickname earned from all the fierce and frequent brawls that erupted in and around the saloon. Two Polish immigrants opened up the White Eagle to offer other Polish immigrants a place after work for recreation. Pool, poker, liquor, beer, and with the right connection and the proper amount of money, patrons could indulge in the brothel upstairs or the opium den downstairs. The basement had a tunnel connected to the underground network leading to...
Which is a video coming out very soon that I did of oversimplified prohibition, which I have not yet recorded. But I'm just staying for the fact that will be coming out soon.
The waterfront. Legend has it that through the subterranean passageway, intoxicated patrons were knocked over the head and drugged down the tunnels to the ships. There are reports of women crying upstairs and people screaming in the basement after hours. This place is spooky. I went in there before I knew it was all haunted and everything like that. I haven't been back since. Number 4. The Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel, Los Angeles. Now, growing up in the Los Angeles area, you knew that this place was creepy. There's tons of stories. Almost every Hollywood murder seems to be in or around this place, even if it wasn't. They always seem to end up here. It's how legends go, I guess. The hotel was built in 1926 in what is known as the Golden Era of Los Angeles architecture, and it was named after the 26th President of the United States, Theodore Roosevelt. It is a beautiful building. I've seen it many, many times. Never been inside, but I've driven by and been in the area, and it's a beautiful building. It was actually the model of the Disneyland ride Tower of Terror. The place is haunted. Okay. It is said that Marilyn Monroe still haunts the halls here and still occupies her suite of 1,200. A lot of guests that have stayed there say that they see Marilyn Monroe in the mirror in that room. Guests have also reported mysterious trumpet music that's believed to be played by the spirit of Montgomery Clift. Now, I don't know if they've ever tracked him down and found the ghost playing the trumpet and asked him who he was, but people are pretty sure it's Montgomery Clift. I guess he used to like to practice in Suite 928. Others involve a little girl in a blue dress named Caroline that tries to motion you down the hallway, and if you go down the hallway, she wants to show you her dead parents, which she killed with a sharpened candy cane, like a preteen prison shank. Just kidding, I made that part up. But anyway, people have seen this little girl in a blue dress, and they do know her name's Caroline. Another thing that's kind of weird is the hotel operator calls and asks if you need help in your room, and then they call back downstairs and nobody called the room. It's just weird. Number 3, the Taos Hum, Taos, New Mexico. Some residents and visitors in Taos, New Mexico have for years been hearing a mysterious and faint hum that they can't seem to get away from. One lady said she tried listening to the Bee Gees for 24 hours straight to drown out the sound. She said it didn't work, but now she hums Staying Alive whenever she's trying to concentrate, and her neighbors hate her. What's weird about this one is only about 2% of Taos residents and visitors report hearing the sound. Some believe it's caused by unusual acoustics of the desert surroundings. They also think it's just delusional people. Some think it's a secret government mind control program. Conspiracies are many and conclusions are few. It has been described as a whirl, a hum, a buzz, and whether it's psychological, natural, or supernatural, no one has yet been able to locate the sound and its origin and anything about it. This is what it sounds like. A couple years back, they did a survey of people who heard the hum, and they all described it differently, which would indicate that it's more subjective than objective or completely nonsense. Either way, the unexplained noises are creepy. True. Number 2, the East Bay Walls, Northern California. Up in the East Bay Hills near San Francisco, there's a series of rock walls that have fascinated people for well over 100 years. The East Bay Walls are also known as the Berkeley Walls, in case you do some research and think you're looking at two different things. You're not. They are strange and a total mystery. Nobody knows who built them, why they built them, or what purpose did they serve. They're a meter high and a meter wide in places. The walls are anywhere from a few meters to over a mile long. Some rocks are the size of a basketball, while others are large boulders weighing more than a ton. Parts of the wall look like they were just just thrown together, while other parts look like they were carefully constructed. The age of the walls is unknown, but it appears to experts that they were put in place anywhere from 150 to 500 years ago.
Wow.
That's a big difference. So much about these walls is mystery, and it's up for debate. One thing you learn once you start digging into these walls is they have fascinated people for a very long time. The Oakland Tribune had a story about the walls on October 15th of 1916, where they mentioned people have been guessing and investigating these walls for many years. No actual date there.
I would say
anyway, people have speculated that...
So to me, because we're, again... On the night we call it the moors, which I guess you would call this the moors, or we would call this the moors. You have all this, and it's literally just people keeping their livestock. Is what it is.
It was Chinese explorers that may have gotten here many years before Europeans landed on the East Coast. I think that one's kind of just because they had the Great Wall and, they figured Chinese just build walls. That's an old theory. Other theories went on about a lost civilization. I went down the rabbit hole while researching this, and probably the easiest explanation and most realistic is ranching. Maybe these walls were in place to control the movement of sheep or cattle, but holes appear in that theory as well. It's like, why aren't any of them square or connected so that it keeps everything in? They're just all walls, it seems like. One thing is for sure, we don't know how, we don't know who, and we don't know why.
I would put
and it'll
money
probably
on
remain
that's
that
what
way
it is,
for
livestock.
ever. And number 1. Underwater Stonehenge, Lake Michigan. Everybody has heard of Stonehenge in the UK. It's one of the most visited places in England, if you don't count the pub. Did you know we sort of have our own here in the United States? Most people will never visit it because it's 40 feet under Lake Michigan. One of these stones that's in the underwater Stonehenge has a carving of a mastodon, or snuffleupagus, from Sesame Street.
Wow.
I was on the fence on which one
That's
it is, but I'm
cool.
sort of leaning towards snuffleupagus. Not many people have visited this one, including myself, because it's underwater. So there isn't a lot of footage of this one, and the footage they do have isn't great. So here's the pictures, and then I'm going to show you some drone footage of Lake Michigan while I talk. The best explanation as to how these got here, there's a lot of different explanations. The structure could have been created during the last ice age when the lake bed was dry. They figure it was some sort of game drive, which is a structure that's been used throughout history to drive herding animals towards hunters. That's also one of the theories for the East Bay walls at number 2 on this list. For whatever reason, there's a circular structure with apparently a mastodon on it in Lake Michigan, 40 feet underwater, which is just weird. Many people, however, question whether the rocks were purposely placed or it's just a random occurrence. But there's also one that's very similar in Lake Huron. So yeah, I don't think it's random myself. It doesn't look like we'll ever know the origins of this Stonehenge, or at least until Snuffleupagus spills the beans. Either way, we'll probably never find out.
The more you look at that, you don't really see it.
Alright, so that...
I can't lie, none of that was scary. Like, I was expecting to be, shitting my pants here, but I guess not. Look, I enjoy doing these mysterious places, haunted places, things like that. We've got one coming up. My phone's ringing, lovely. Look, hope you all have a great day. Peace.